everybody loves a
sleeper.
Yeah, we finally got it one time.
Yeah.
That's
Sometimes I'm a little slow.
A little slow, it's your own say. But it's true, everybody does love a sleeper. So we're talking about sleepers, but remember, this is also undervalued. These are guys that are going later in drafts than we think that they should. So, of course, you're going to know most of these names. Keep that in mind. And be sure to go on to FantasySmackTalk.com. Check out our cheat sheet. You can print that out. It gets you tiers, gets you rankings, all that fun stuff. Dustin.
Top 100.
Top one.
First guy I want to talk about is Ozuna with the Marlins. Now, this is a young outfielder that has a lot of potential to fill it up. You know, not necessarily with speed, but definitely the power. And I do think he does still have potential for his average. Wasn't the best average last year, but he did have 54 extra base hits. And for a youngster, I mean, that's what you're looking for. You know, a guy that's hitting the ball hard. Some doubles. You're going to turn into home runs.
Whoa! Never heard that one before.
But this is just an exciting young player who's not necessarily getting as much hype as some of the other guys, but I think he should.
All right, my first guy is going to be Josh Harrison for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Really think this guy is undervalued. I am not understanding why there's not more hype behind him. He did have a solid year last year, but his second half was great. Batted .332, 8 home runs, 9 bags. I mean, this guy could definitely hit for average and be a 2020 guy. Would not shock me at all, and he's going much later in drafts than I believe he should be going.
Another young, exciting outfielder, and that's Soler for the Chicago Cubs. This guy's minor league stats through the roof. Batting average, power. I mean, he has potential to do it all. And he did pretty solid last year when he did get called up, and now it's going to be his first full year, and I think the bar needs to be set really high for this guy. He's a very exciting pick. When you get into the middle rounds and you're looking at the Hunter Pences of the world, or you can take a gamble on a young guy like this, you know, what's the more exciting pick?
Dustin loves exciting picks. Here's a guy.
That's what fantasy's all about.
That is what it's. Yeah, there you go. So Pineda's my next guy, and we talked about him if you looked at our starting pitcher tiers and rankings. If not, you should check out that video. It's pretty good. So I hear Pineda, second half of the year after the whole pine tar suspension, all that stuff. It doesn't matter. He was still a solid pitcher. He had a 1.91 ERA. He had a .76 WHIP. That is
pretty
ridiculous. Good. In 55 innings, he only walked 4 batters. This guy has great control. He's going to be solid. God knows why, but he's undervalued way too much right now.
And my first of 2 Colorado Rocky outfielders in this video, I mean, their outfield is stacked. The first guy I want to talk about is Corey Dickerson. This guy is legit, real deal, a lot like Soler. His minor league stats were through the roof, and he carried it right into the majors. He was amazing all year, had a great average, and the extra base hits were there. Obviously, you know I like that. This is a guy that's well worth where he's going in drafts right now. I think he's a great value.
Gonna be talking about another Pittsburgh Pirate, and that's Kong. Love this guy. Pittsburgh signed him to a 4-year deal. He's coming from overseas. You know, again, I talked about him in one of our preview shows, but he had great stats, big power. The thing that I also, though, want to note about him is right now they're not saying he's the locked-in starter. They're saying Mercer is the starter right now for the Pirates, but that's all going to change. So if you're doing an early draft, don't worry about it. You can. It's actually making him even more undervalued than he should be. If he doesn't start opening day as the starting shortstop, he will be soon. Look out for Kong and a little bit of power. His name's Kong. I know it's Kang, but it's actually Kong.
Our next Rockies outfielder, and that's Charlie Blackmon. This guy can fill it up. You know, he's a guy that can definitely, you know, maybe even potentially flirt with being a 30-30 guy at some point. You know, he's somebody that, again, that's just, you get into the middle rounds, he's an exciting pick, and he has a huge upside, and I think he's going to even build on his numbers from a year ago.
Now here's a name you know, so he's not a sleeper, but it's undervalued. It's really what sleepers have become in this day and age because everybody knows everybody now. Johnny Cueto. Most sites and most his ADP is having him going as the 8th, 9th at times, maybe even outside the top 10 in crazy situations, starting pitchers. That should not be the case at all. We haven't ranked him much higher. He had more strikeouts than Kershaw, 1 less win, and he's been solid. Since 2011, he's had a sub-3 ERA. So it's not like this is fluky. It came out of nowhere last year. He's a starting pitcher #1 that you can get at probably an SP2 type of price.
The last guy I'm going to talk about is Freddie Freeman. This is a guy we've liked for a couple years now. He did progress last year and get his stats up to a little bit higher, but I think there's still a lot of room for him. We do not know what his ceiling is yet, and I think this year he takes his game even further and starts really getting those home runs up closer to around the 30 range, and I think he's going to be one of the best overall power first baseman hitters for the next few years. I really like where Freddie Freeman's heading.
Last guy I'm talking about is Danny Santana of the Twins, shortstop that's in a position where there's not a ton of absolute studs. There's solid players, but after the first tier, you know, it's a little, the waters can get murky. Santana's a guy that's getting drafted at, again, way too undervalued. It's a very legit chance he's going to bat 300, hit anywhere from 10 to 15 home runs, anywhere from 25 to 30 bags. What's not to love about that? I don't know why he's going so late. So wait on the position, grab Danny Boy. You're gonna love it.
Danny Boy. So this is Sleeper slash Undervalued. Please remember that. Nanko right here, Dustin right here. Check out all our tiers and rankings. If you want to do FanDuel FST 2015, use the promo code. Help us out. Questions in the forums.